I work at Redhat Company. I work in the Redhat platform space in the support team, in the global support services. So that's a small introduction about me. Maybe you can also start with your introduction. What are your roles, responsibilities in your current profile? What do you do on day-to-day basis in your current job? Something like that.
Okay, so hi and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Milan, I have worked in Microland for 2.11 years as a senior engineer Unix and Linux,
Mm-hmm.
where I was supporting AIX servers, which were physical servers, and Linux servers, which were hosted on VMware and Azure. So if I talk about Linux specifically, so I have worked on Red Hat, Ubuntu, CentOS and SUSE, all four flavors, and my day-to-day responsibilities were
Mm-hmm.
managing these virtual servers from VMware and Azure. So we used to support on the incidents via ServiceNow and troubleshoot the scenarios system uptime, memory management, LVM. Sometimes we used to get a ticket to extend the file systems, to reduce the file system,
Mm-hmm.
and overall CPU memory utilization, patching the servers from end to end patching, and checking the vulnerabilities of these servers before the patching and post patching. So yeah, these were my responsibilities. My
Mm-hmm.
first organization. I have joined Comvault recently. It's been for 3 months working as a technical support associate, where I am working as a product support on Windows and Linux machine both. So we used to check the backups of the Linux system, and how do we install Commvault packages on Linux, checking the services and backup and restore for the Linux systems.
Yeah, great. So, can you tell me something about the boot process? Like, through what all the stages the system passes through. Once we power on the system, all the way to the stage where we get the login prompt. What all the things happen in the background?
So booting process has a different level. So when we boot up the machine, first come into the picture of BIOS. So BIOS is it does a power on self test. It check all the hardware and all it is working fine. Then and it goes to it passes the operation to the MBR, which is master boot record. It is a code which is used to load the boot, and it has a it checks the partition, all the partitions, and it's a 512 bytes code. So it does the consistency and all the hardware checks, and then it more than MBR moves ahead with the grub. When comes into the picture, if I take a practical example, when this booting process grub comes into the picture, when we saw the first GUI, the black screen where we select the kernels. So what grub does is grub loads the kernel and the initramfs image files to the it loads the kernel and initramfs
Mm-hmm.
files. So after going into that step, kernel comes into the picture. So what kernel does, kernel
Mm-hmm.
loads the file system to boot up the machine. Then before Red Hat previous versions, we were using the first process was init. Now system D has come up. So system D
Okay.
it's the first process, and the system D PID is one. So it's the first process when the Linux server is
Mm-hmm.
boots up. So system D loads the actual file system, the LVM, and it loads the file system from /etc/fs tab, and it gives you the
Okay.
run level target. So at which run level the system is getting
Mm-hmm.
booted, it gets powered on.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, there looks to be some issue in the network. Maybe it's from my side or your side, I don't know. But sometimes the video and the voice freezes. But I guess we can still continue. It's not a major problem. So just to
Okay.
let you know, in case you see my video freezing or I don't hear you, then we can just wait a few more seconds for each other, right?
Sure, sure, sure.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, great. So, you mentioned about the ETCFS step file, right? Can you tell me what are the contents inside it? What is the format of entries in it?
So contents. So we have seven parameters where we give the whole partition name, then the mount path, and
Hmm.
and default. There's a entry for defaults, and last for and the one is the type of file system. Is it a ext4, or it is the xfs, or it is a swap file system. And last two parameters are 001 is for the consistent fs for the file system check. So whenever the
Hmm.
files server is boot up, so if it is set to any one or two, so it will prioritize and check the file system check fsck.
Yeah. Okay. And say I have NFS server from where there is a mount point shared,
Okay.
right? That NFS server could be RHEL, NetApp, or something else. We don't care about it.
Okay.
But they have provided us a mount point, NFS share. How do I mount that NFS share on my system?
Okay. So with the with the partition name, we will be mounting that NFS server, to which server we need to mount it. So we use the command mount,
Hmm.
then the partition name,
Hmm.
and the directory under directory which we wanted to mount.
So you need to use the IP address or the host name of NFS server in the mount command.
No, no, we don't use. We will not be using IP address and the host name.
Okay. But in that case, how the mount command will get to know that there could be multiple NFS servers in my environment, right? So how we do it, and there could be similar kind of shares on all the servers. So let's say I have four NFS servers, and there is a data slash data kind of a share present on all those four servers. Now I want to mount this slash data from NFS server one on my system. Then it has to know that it's from server one, not from NFS server four. Have you ever worked with NFS client, or if you don't have any idea, then it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
No, when we create a NFS server, so we create a directory and we give the permissions.
Hmm.
When we give the permissions, it can read all the permissions from the NFS server, and then we give the read write access, and the and like if the directory slash srv nfs, for example, then we give read write and this comma sync, and there are some parameters to subtree underscore check.
Hmm.
So then we mount that particular directory to the nfs.
Okay. Yeah. Say we have created a virtual machine, um, and it has two disks, SDA and SDB,
Okay.
right? SDA is used for root file system. There is a root LV present on it. Slash boot is there. We partitioned it,
Okay.
and it is. doing fine.
Yes. Okay.
And slash the STB, it's a second
Mm-hmm.
disk. It's free.
Okay.
So I created a LVM volume. I have formatted it with XFS file system,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
And I mounted on slash data. I created directory called slash data, and I
Correct.
mounted that file system.
Okay.
Now, what I want is, whenever I reboot my system, it should get mounted automatically. Then what I have to do for it?
Okay.
I don't
So
want to mount it every time manually. Yeah.
so we need to add that entry into the slash etc slash fs tab. So if we are not adding that file system into slash etc slash fs tab, whenever we are rebooting the server, it will unmount. So to make it to permanent, we need to add that into fs tab entry. And if you want to do it, if you want to check that if it is mounted correctly, there's a directory called slash etc slash m tab. So that is a temporary, it will show the temporary directory. So whenever you can just copy paste and just paste into the fs tab, and you need to just change the sum of the information. So that's how we mount it permanently.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. There is a lot of disturbance in the background. Maybe network issue or something. You, is there any network issue from your side?
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure if there's a network issue from my end.
Okay, no worries. So, yeah, but I can hear you now properly. In between, the video got freezed. I reduced my video resolution as well because of that only. If there was any issue or something like that, yeah, I guess you can still continue. There's no problem. In case if it gets worse, then I'll just give you a call back.
Sure,
Right?
sure, sure.
Okay. So there was another thing I wanted to check. Let's see. So we made an entry in FSTF file,
Okay.
and the file system is getting mounted fine after every reboot. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what happened is that some user accidentally modified that entry, and instead of slash data, they mentioned some another mount point slash data one or something, right, in the FSTF entry. But that directly or mount point doesn't exist.
Okay.
So basically, they just made a mistake in that entry, and when I reboot my system, what will happen to that entry? Whether system will boot up without mounting that file system, or the system will fail to boot, and it will drop the system to emergency mode or control D prompt.
So if we did a entry by mistake, so the
Yeah, entries that they made some mistake into those parameters, like they misconfigured the mount point, which doesn't exist. When system tries to mount it, it fails. So that failure would result in the failure of whole boot process itself, or the system would continue further with the rest of the file system and just leave this aside.
uh, So I think when the system will reboot, it will give an error. So we need to go into the rescue mode and change the configuration.
Hmm. Yeah, you saying something?
No, what I think is, if we had made a mistake in the FS tab for that particular file system, so when the system will reboot, it will throw an error. It will throw an error. So we need to go into the rescue mode
Okay,
and try to, and we need to change the configuration. We need to correct the file system.
okay. And how would you go into rescue mode?
So when we go to when we reboot the system, or when we'll power on, we need to press escape. uh, we need to press multiple time escape and we need to go to the rescue mode. After going to rescue mode, uh, we uh, whenever when we go to rescue mode, we have a command for ch root. Then we can list the lsblk and go into fs tab entry and change make the changes, and after making changes, go exit from that and reboot the system.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's something. Let's say we configured this system
Okay.
for the end customer. They are using it for Oracle database,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And they are happy with the system performance. They
Okay.
had no complaints. Everything was going fine. After 6 months, they opened a ticket saying
Mm-hmm.
that the system is facing performance issues now.
Okay.
Previously, some operations were taking 1 minute to complete. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the same operations, if they execute, it takes 5 minutes to complete.
Okay.
Right. So, let's say I'm assigned to that case or ticket,
Okay.
then I just have this much information. How should I try to start troubleshooting this, or what all information should I gather, review, or what questions should I ask?
So, for performance related issues, we have different scenarios and different aspects to look.
Yeah.
First of all, we need to probe with the customer that at what time is it a business hours, the servers are affecting us off business hours, and what type of application they are running. Is it related to database or web servers, and so accordingly we can proceed, and from the troubleshooting from the server end, we can check the cpu memory utilization by using top command, which all processes is consuming more cpu and more memory. By free hyphen h command, we can check if the memory is enough on the server. So so suppose whenever a database backup is running, so at that time, one also at that time the process consumption is high, so we need
Hmm.
to check, and we need to inform them that at the time of backup is running, there's a process which is consuming more cpu and more memory. So we can check, and then we can then go further to troubleshoot. We can delete some other process which is consuming more space, so we can narrow down the issue and we can investigate. And sometimes what we do for the system performance, consistent, I'm not saying about consistent, reboot is also required for the optimal performance of the server.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Okay. Let's say we want to review the historic data, like for example, for last 15 days, or maybe last 3 4 days, what were the CPU usage, memory usage, disk IO related information, then what logs should I refer to?
uh,
Are there any
so
logs which capture this information, historic information of
mm,
statistics and all those things?
related to performance, so I
Are
mean,
you aware of the SAR logs? Yeah.
SAR logs.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
go
mean,
ahead. Yeah.
I have not worked on the SAR logs, but I have heard about SAR logs. See, I
Hmm.
mean, see, we can review the logs from /var/list log /messages, and we can check the logs from the d message also, what is happening on the server. And
Hmm.
SAR logs, I mean, I've
Hmm.
not worked
Okay.
on the SAR logs, but yeah, I have knowledge. I mean, I've
Okay.
heard about
Yeah,
it.
no worries. Hmm. Okay. So let's say I want to check the disk IO statistics on the live system. right now the performance issue is going on that system. You're logged into it, and you want to see what is the IO statistic, like disk wait time and utilization. All this. What is the command that you will use?
So, I mean, for IOStat, but for IOStat, we need to
Okay.
install the package of systat.
Okay. Yeah. And in the top command output, you might see different process states, right? Like capital D, capital R, capital S,
Okay, yeah.
those kind of states. In the caps letter, you will see them. Do you know what are those process states?
Capital D,
There's
capital.
one capital Z.
Okay, so for those parameters,
They're basically process states.
process states. I
In the
mean,
process life cycle, since when it starts
see, I mean,
to get
so,
terminated. Hmm.
See, I have some knowledge on these states. P is for the CPU usage, M is for the memory usage, and R is for the renice. So, if we want to prioritize any process,
No, 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 no. So, no, no. So you're getting that confused, I guess. What I'm saying is that the process states, the
okay,
current state of the process. Now, for example, let me give you one very common example about the process state.
okay,
You heard the zombie process, right?
yes, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So it might get denoted with capital Z. So
Hmm.
those kind of the process states are listed in top.
Hmm.
And maybe you have a laptop right now in front of you. You can go to terminal. You can open the top, output and see there is one column. Maybe it's the third last or second last column. You
So,
will see just the
okay.
process state.
Okay, okay. Okay, I got you. Z is for the zombie, R is for the running, and S for the sleeping.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, similar. Any other states like what's D indicating that process states?
Uh,
Capital
uh,
D, capital I.
um, capital capital D. So no, no. I'm not sure, but I'm just capital D
Mhm.
for it. Maybe for demon process.
Okay. Any other process states that you know? Maybe capital I, if you know.
Uh, capital I is for. Is it for the idle process?
No, it's not
Inactive
actually, but
inactive
it's
process.
close. Yeah, it's close. Um, from it's not the exact word, but it's close. It's fine. Yeah. So there's one more thing I wanted to ask about the SSH. Can you tell me what is the port number for SSH?
22.
Is it possible to use some other free port number for SSH instead of 22?
Yes, we can. So
Okay.
if we want to use any other port which is not a default port, so from the configuration file of SSH, we can change that port number.
Okay. Do you have any exposure or any knowledge, even theoretical knowledge of ISCSI or SAN or NAS, any such topics?
So, storage area network on NAS. NAS is something a network file share. So we create a
Mm-hmm.
network file share to access multiple people to access that file system. Storage
Mm-hmm.
SAN is a you can say storage area network is you map those storage hardware devices or LANs on the server to increase the storage. iSCSI is a fiber channel which is used to connect with the storage SAN, if I'm not wrong.
Mm-hmm. Have you used these technologies in your current profile? Maybe you might not have got a chance to actually set up a SIAN and all those things. I'm not expecting that. But the servers that you were handling, like Did they have the storage devices from SAN, NAS, or iSCSI?
Yeah, yes. Some of the VMware servers, they were mapped to
Mm-hmm.
storage, SAN storage, but I didn't got the chance to work on
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Yeah, no worries.
So I mean,
You mentioned.
sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
have
please go ahead.
yeah, I have one information that I know, that if we want to scan the lens, if it is not reflecting,
Mm-hmm.
we have a command for echo inverted commas, and uh,
Yeah,
we put all those entries of host and the iSCSI, so it will scan all the LUNs which is attached to the server.
yeah, correct. Yeah, that is one. I mentioned your exposure to the shell scripting, Ansible, and the task automation stuff, right? Can you give me any example where you used the shell scripting or Ansible automation to automate some of the day-to-day tasks for yourself or for your team?
Oh, okay. So there were four crucial servers. I mean, this is a real-time scenario which I am telling about. There were four crucial web servers which we used to log in on a daily basis, and we used to check the uptime and the file system utilization and the services. So there were three services running on that particular servers: MySQL, Apache, and Solar services. So we used to do it on the daily basis, used to log in manually on the server and put all those commands. So we come up with the solution that logging into four different servers interactively and doing all the commands. So we created a shell script. We created a script. So we can just we can run that script and get the output.
Okay.
So I mean, that was the first time I had a chance to work on the script with my senior. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, because initially we were not had that much of access and much of like you could say access to work on all these things. So, but later on, we only suggested that we can create, because it was assigned to us. So we only told us we can create a script, so it will reduce our time itself. So we created a script, and we created a cron job for that. So every time and every day in the morning, that cron job runs, and that script.
Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's nice one. So, and can you tell me any other example of handling any critical issues where you went out of the way, learned something new, and that earned you a praise from your team members as well as from management?
Okay, I mean, I mean, I have multiple scenarios, but one was actually I was working in a multiple different shifts. It was a 24/7 project, so I was in the night shift, and I was alone in the shift. There was no other resource to support any other senior. So we were handling some of the mail servers, syslog servers, and so we were supporting some of the SAP servers, and mail servers were configured. At that point of time in the night, what happened is those servers went offline. So we were
Mm-hmm.
handling those mail servers which was using MTA. Those were MTA servers. MTA services were running on the those servers. So I got a P1, like it was a high priority ticket. So as soon as I got the P1, I mean, at that point of time I did not knew very much into what needs to be checked, but I googled it out. I found some troubleshooting steps by my own, checked the MTA services, and if, those services were not running. So we I restarted the services, and I went into the configuration file of the MTA mail servers. So when you go to the MTA servers, and when you go to the configuration file, by doing the tail hyphen f command, tail hyphen f shows you the live logs. So so in that scenario, so it
Hey,
will.
Ehsan, just 1 second.
Okay.
Hey, just 1 second. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah, can you just give me, just 10 seconds? I will back in that.
Sure,
Somebody
sure,
is
sure,
knocking.
sure.
Yeah, somebody is at door, and there is me alone. So just
Okay,
give me 2 seconds,
okay,
right?
okay, okay, sure.
Hey, how's it going? I'm looking.
Yes.
Hey, Ehsan, yeah, I'm back now.
Okay.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
No, no, no issues.
Discussing about that server issue, right?
Yes, so because of that, there was SAP dashboard where every time 24/7 emails
Mm-hmm.
are getting received or it is sending. So when I checked the logs from the slash var slash messages, when I checked the tail hyphen f and the file name, I saw the file after restarting the services, and when I checked into the configuration file, the mails started flowing. So this was the one configuration, this was the one scenario, and even I did the NTP configuration also, I mean, NTP server. So due to some mismatch of the timings, the logs were getting mismatched. I went into the cronid configuration file and removed, just marked the first three entry and the added the burst file. So that's how I changed the correct the timings on the server. I You are talking on mute, I think.
Yeah, so I was just talking about the patching. Let's say there is a patching activity on the
Okay,
server. We
okay,
install a couple of RPMs, including kernel, and we took a report of system, right?
okay.
And the system didn't come up. It showed kernel panic error. Then we have limited downtime for completing the patching, and the system is not coming up with updated RPMs, right? In that, what are my options? How would I bring that system back, or how would I troubleshoot that?
Kernel panic error. I mean, I have not done it by myself, but I have watched my senior, because in my organization I have learned something which was not my task. So I used to go on a session with my senior, and whatever he used to do, I used to check each and everything what. So there was one scenario, the when the server went into the kernel panic error. So what he did was he went into the, what I remember, he went into the rescue mode. And even I have worked here, I have checked, and I have gone through this issue in my personal laptop. So we regenerate the image file from the drawcut command, and then boot up the machine. Milan, you are talking on mute.
Yeah, sorry, I was again in mute.
Yeah.
So what I was saying, even after doing this troubleshooting, the system is still not booting up.
Okay.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, I'm able to hear you. Even after this, if the system is not booting, um, okay. So, okay. So we can simultaneously check from the rescue mode. We if that if there's any changes made in the slash fs tab entry. Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, it looks like there is again a network issue. Not sure what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah, I was discussing about that booting issue. So you
So
meant,
yeah,
mhm.
I remember your question, the second question. Even after the doing the Docker command and regenerating the image, then also if the system is not booting up, then simultaneously we can check the in the rescue mode itself. We can check if there's any deconfiguration happen in the fs tab entry, and we can check also from different machine. We can check the we can do the ssh of that ip with the ip address, that if it is pingable or not. Maybe it is not able to there's something happened with the network interface.
Okay. Yeah, and but the system is not coming up to the stage where network is started, all right? It is just showing the kernel panic quickly after loading grub and all those things. Then I just, the client is asking for the server to be up and running. They are not,
Hmm.
hell bent on saying that I want my system up with the updated RPMs. What
Hmm.
they say, maybe you can try patching in next week during
Hmm.
some another downtime. And
Hmm.
my job is now just to get the system up and running. In that case, then what are the options that I can have at the time?
Okay. If we want to roll back, then we can use the previous image, and we can
Mhm.
regenerate, and we can boot up the machine.
Okay. Yeah, that is fun. And would you try putting with the older kernel that's already present on system? Because installing new kernel doesn't erase the old
Correct.
kernel, right?
Correct. Correct.
Maybe you can just try booting with older kernel. If it boots up, the job is done, right? The
Yes.
server is up,
Yes.
right? That's one thing. Do can you tell me a couple of differences between RPM command and yum command?
Couple of difference. So one major difference is yum commands. Whenever we uh, upgrade any package, or if we upgrade any package by via yum, so yum it also install the dependencies for the with the package.
Mhm.
But for rpm it only upgrades the package. It does not install the dependencies with the package associated.
Yeah, yeah. Let's say I have three RPM packages, RPM 1,
Hmm.
RPM 2, and RPM 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there is a dependency among themselves. So RPM 1 is dependent upon RPM 2,
Mm-hmm.
right? RPM 2 is dependent upon RPM 3,
Okay.
and RPM 3 is dependent upon RPM 1, the first one,
Okay.
right? So what is happening is that if I run RPM-IVH space
Okay.
RPM 1, it says RPM 2 is not installed,
Okay.
right? Because it's dependent upon RPM 2. Now I
Hmm.
tried it with RPM 2. It says RPM 3 is not installed, and the same happens with RPM 3. It says RPM 1 is not installed. And so, how to install these three RPMs? Each RPM is dependent upon another one. It's cyclic dependency.
Okay. We can check the dependency of that rpm package by rpm hyphen uh, qpr and the package name.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Right now we know the dependency. Like first is dependent upon second, second is on third, and third is on first one. We just have to find out a way to install these three RPMs.
Okay, so I mean, what I can do from my perspective is, I can do the I can install the
Hmm.
with the
Yeah.
first package. So it will install the
Hmm.
dependencies.
Okay. Yeah, that is definitely one way. Yum will take care of dependencies here, right?
Hmm.
And let's say I want to install them using normal RPM command itself,
Hmm.
using RPM method. Then is there any way, maybe any tricks or something that you can still install these three RPMs with an RPM command?
So we can install we can install this package. I mean collectively rpm hyphen uvh first package, second package, and third package.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's the answer. Yeah, yeah. Nice to hear that one. Because this is very confusing.
Yeah, sometimes but
Okay.
okay, yes.
Yeah. Can you tell me something about DHCP? Whatever things you know?
Okay. Okay, so I mean, a major role is DSCP is to assign the IP address of the system to the, I mean, to the system.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be static, it can be dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. Uh, yeah. Let's say we have configured a system to get IP from DHCP server,
mhm.
right? So um, for for a communication between two systems, the basic requirement is that both should have IP addresses, right?
Correct, correct.
This is the basic requirement for two systems to talk to each other.
Yes,
Now, what happens when the system is booting up? At one stage it has to assign the IP address to the interface, right? And that interface is configured to get IP from DHCP server.
yes,
But at that stage, it does not have its own IP address, right? In that case, how it talks to DHCP server and gets IP from there? You got my question, right?
yes, yes. I got your question. I mean, when we are trying to when the server is booting up,
Yeah.
so it should communicate with the DHC server and take the IP address. But
Yeah.
ultimately, it is not able to take the IP address and it's not able to communicate with DHCP server, right?
No, it would be able to, but the basic requirement for communication is both should have IP addresses.
Hmm.
And in this stage, when the system is putting up, that interface does not yet have its own IP.
Okay.
Right? It is up, but it does not have IP because IP it will get from DHCP server. And to talk to DHCP, it doesn't have its own IP. So how it would go and request DHCP server that I need an IP? Then how it would where DHCP server would know that this is where I have to transmit the IP address details, DNS details, and all those information. At that stage, how the communication happens between DHCP client and server?
Uh, this is I'm not sure, but I mean I'm not sure about this. So we in latest versions we have network manager. So from the network manager we can change the IP address also, and we can allow the we have parameter to make the network manager to make it to browse the to there's one parameter I'm just recalling that name. uh, if it is set to allow, then it will then the server will communicate with the DSCP server.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean, just I'm just recalling it.
You want to take a little more time for that one? Or
I'm not actually getting it.
No, no, no worries, fine.
By the way,
So,
can you tell me in short what is the how can we do it?
okay, the thing is that when the system is supposed to get IP for interface from DHCP server, it sends a broadcast message
Correct, correct.
to because it doesn't know in the network
Yes,
which DHCP servers are there.
yes.
So it sends a broadcast using its MAC address to 255.255.255, right? And whichever DHCP server is configured in the network, it picks up that broadcast. And that broadcast message contains the MAC address of the interface.
Mm-hmm.
And DHCP server will find out in its list whether that MAC address is mapped with any IP already, or otherwise it would take an IP from the free pool and it will send it back to that MAC address.
Okay, 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 got it.
And that is how the interface gets it from the DHCP server. Then it initializes itself with that IP. Then we have normal, all the services can use that IP, set
Yeah.
up a port like 22 and all those things on
Okay.
top of it,
Yeah. Okay.
right? So that's a broadcast message, and that's common to any operating system.
Yeah, that this is the Dora process which you are telling me, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. That was what I was looking for. Right. So let's go back to that server where there was STA and STB. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Uh, so that disk STB, as we know, it's used for slash data file system, and
Mm-hmm.
there is LVM and XFS file system on it. Right. The size of that LVM and XFS is 100 GB.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm? If we want to extend it from 100 to 200, then what are the steps that I should follow?
Okay, 100 to 200. So, okay, to extend any of the file system, we can create a new partition. I mean, sorry, a new, we can add a disk uh,
Hmm.
with the partition type of 8E, that is logical volume. Then suppose it's slash dev slash sdc, then we can
Hmm.
create pv create slash sd slash dev slash sdc. Then we can go
Hmm.
for the that particular vg, we can do vg extend, and that particular slash dev slash sdc. Then we could go for lv extend.
Hmm.
LV extend hyphen L 100 to 200 GB, so means it's 100 G, and the hyphen and the whole partition name, whole that slash dev and the
LVM.
VG LVM.
Hmm.
After doing LV extend, XFS, we need to run that command, XFS grows.
Okay. Grow FS. Hmm.
Yes, then it will then the extended size will be come up.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, fine. Now, so let's say there is another requirement to shrink that file system and LVM volume, say from 200 back to 100 GB.
Okay,
Then what would be the sequence?
so for XFS we cannot shrink the file system.
Okay, yeah, yeah, fine, fine. Let's say instead of XFS, there is ext4.
Hmm.
Would it be possible?
Yes, it is possible for ext4.
And then what would be the sequence?
uh, so what I know from my experience, for extending it's not an issue, we can go and do it directly.
Yeah,
For reducing the file system we need a downtime.
yeah.
So we need to, for reducing the file system, first of all we need to unmount that file system.
Hmm.
After unmounting the file system, we need to go for the consistency check E2FSCK,
Okay.
and
Hmm.
then we can go for the lv reduce command, whatever size, and then we can give the command resize to fs.
Will you reduce the LV before reducing the file system, or you will reduce the file system first and then run LV reduce. Which of these two will do you will do first? Reducing the file system size first, or reducing the LVM size first? While extending, it's fine. We would first extend the LV, then extend the file system. Here, the sequence would be reverse, or it would be same.
uh, we can for this
Hmm.
okay, no, so first we will reduce the file system with the resize to
Are you
fs.
sure, or are you sure about that? Or
I'm just getting confused actually. So
Mhm.
no, I see. First we will reduce the file system, then we'll reduce the LVM, then again we will reduce, we will go for the resize to fs and we'll reduce it.
But you already done research to FS once, right?
Hmm.
Why should we run it again?
I need just to verify if the file system is reduced or not.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, fine. And can you tell me, like, where does the Linux system store the encrypted passwords for the users?
Slash etc slash shadow.
Yeah, that file is not editable by normal users,
Yes.
right? For example, I log in on my system, I can't just go and open that,
Okay.
right? So what happens is that when I execute passwd command, and I can change my password, I can enter new password, I
Hmm.
can just press enter, and the new password gets written to shadow file,
Yes.
right? Uh, I don't have permission to write to that file, right? But through passwd, I am allowed to update my password into that file. I am able to modify that file, right?
Hmm.
So, is there any special permission set on passwd that allows me to do edit or update that shadow file? You understood my question, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Actually, I don't have a write permission there, but through passwd, I am able to write.
hmm. uh, yes, we can. We do change the password from past WT, and
Mhm.
the password gets updated in slash et. Correct. I mean, yes, but I'm not sure. I mean, it's
Yeah, can you tell me whatever special permissions you know?
a special
What are
permissions,
special permissions?
as in.
Like, I will give you one example. There is a sticky bit. You might have
Yes,
heard, right?
correct. Yes.
That is a special permission. Similarly, are there any other special permissions that you know?
One is sticky bit. You already told, and sticky bit. We have access ACL.
Yeah, that is one. Hmm. Any other permissions like that?
Any other permissions? See, ACL, sticky bit. I mean, sudo permission is also a kind of a special permission. If we are granting
Hmm.
some
Hmm.
any of the particular user to a sudo permission, that is also a
Hmm.
special
Yeah.
permission. So he can run any command which requires sudo access.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a similar configuration on that possibility, similar to sudo, not exactly sudo. There is a similar permission. This is a special permission. Do you know, is there any directory in real operating system which by default has a sticky bit enabled?
By default, sticky bit enabled.
Hmm.
Mm,
Maybe if you have your laptop, Linux laptop right in front of you, you can try it. Just list the file systems in slash.
so by default, what usually in we use, I mean, what I know, like usually we apply sticky bit on slash temp directory. Generally, and it's not a confirmed
Mhm.
scenario.
So do you think slash tmp would have that sticky bit set on it by default?
No, no, it's not. It's not mandatory.
Okay. And what is the use of sticky bit? Why do we enable it?
Sticky bit is used for, suppose I am the owner of that directory, and I
Hmm.
want you to you view the content and all the files inside it, but I don't want you to made any change or delete any file inside the directory. So we used to put sticky bit on that.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, in your recent assignment at ComVault, can you tell me what kind of the issues do you get? Like, do you get multiple layered issues like ComVault is dependent upon something underneath it, like maybe LVM, those two things having problems, and you have to segregate whether it's a ComVault issue or Linux issue, and those kind of the issues do you get there? What kind of the issues do you work on?
So ComWorld, we have multiple type of issues. So we get cases like if someone is, if the customer is not able to install ComWorld agent on the Linux, so
Mm-hmm.
we used to
Mm-hmm.
help them on we used to help them to install the ComWorld agent and protect their data.
Okay.
So apart from that, if the data is getting backed up on Linux using ComWorld, so if the data is not getting backed up, so what can be the reasons? If any permissions is not able to getting the backup, so we used to check the right permissions is given to that particular directory.
Mm-hmm.
Same goes for restore if the person is if the customer is restoring his data. So we used to
Mm-hmm.
check on the restore itself.
Okay. And do you go on a remote session with the customer or
Yes,
with screen sharing and other things?
yes, we do it. We go on the remote session.
Okay. Yeah. And do you know anything about LVM, thin provisioning, and all those things?
LVM thin provisioning. So
Do you know if Commvault, yeah, if the Commvault backup solutions uses this or,
see, Commvault.
Mhm.
If it is a Linux system, Commvault has the capability to back up everything,
Mhm.
whether it's OS related database, OS related, or any database which is running on the Linux machine itself. So it is able to back up everything.
Okay, yeah, fine. And can you tell me a couple of differences between symbolic link and a hard link?
Okay, so symbolic link, soft link, and hard link. So soft link is an example of, you could say, if you on Windows itself, if we right click on any of the particular
Hmm.
folder and create a shortcut, that is something soft link.
Symbolic.
So symbolic link. So symbolic link. Uh, if a file is deleted, we cannot access the symbolic link. Symbolic link has different inode, and it can be created
Hmm.
across the directory, but this is not applicable for hard link. resembles the original data, and I node is also same for the hard link. If the original file is deleted, even then we can access the data, even then we can access the hard link. And
Okay.
hard link cannot be created across the directory.
Directory means different file systems.
Yeah, different file system.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, that is one thing. I just have one last question. That's about the FTP. Can you tell me what's the port number for FTP?
File transfer protocol 21.
Or yeah, and what is the difference between FTP and VSFTP
FTP
or
and
SFTP?
FTP file transfer protocol, it uses SFTP uses SSH. It's a secure way of transferring the files.
Okay, it is SSL, right?
Yes,
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much I had in this technical round. So I'm almost done with all the points that I wanted to cover on the technical front. What I will do, I will pass on the feedback of this round to the management team as well as the HR team.
okay,
They would have a discussion and they would decide upon and they would communicate back
okay,
to you,
okay.
right? So before we conclude this meeting, do you have any questions, anything that you would like to ask me?
So, I mean, I wanted to know the real roles and responsibilities for this particular role.
Okay, yeah. So this particular position is for a person in the global support services
Correct. Okay.
team within Red Hat. So here we support the customers who are using RHEL operating system as well as
Hmm.
RHV, OpenShift. So not a single person works on all the different products because it's not even practically possible, right?
Yes.
So there are different teams. One team is there for handling the RHV related stuff, threaded
Okay.
virtualization, KVM. There is another team
Hmm.
for file system, storage, kernel, Anaconda related stuff. There is a
Hmm.
different team. So similarly, there are a lot of different teams, like 17, 18 different teams
Okay.
to handle different issues and components related to a specific area. And
Hmm.
based upon your expertise, you might be placed in one of those teams,
Hmm.
and the responsibilities would include, the customers like just now. In your current role, you are working at Commvault. The customers would open the cases related to it, right? Like my
Hmm.
Commvault backup agent installation is failing, permission issues, backups failing.
Hmm.
Similarly, here the customers would open the cases for RHEL operating system. My system is not booting.
Okay.
You just help me extend the LVM, or I extended my LVM, but size is not reflecting,
Hmm.
and I'm not able to install new packages. After installing packages, system is not coming up. My system
Hmm.
performance is not up to the mark. And for all these issues, they would open cases.
Okay.
We take the ownership of that cases. We work with the customer, just like you do in your control. Maybe sometimes screen sharing, joining the call with other vendors if it involves multiple vendors, and assisting the
Yes.
customer.
Yes.
And there is no rigidity like if you work on a KVM or RHV related issues, you don't get exposure to OCP or storage or file system. It's not like that. There are different queues, but nobody stops you from looking into the cases related to other components.
Okay.
You can even add yourself as an observer. You can observe, follow that case. If you have something to suggest, you can put a note inside it, a
Okay.
private notes.
Hmm.
So that's no rigidity across the teams. Anybody
Hmm.
can work on any of those cases, but there would be a primary component or primary team assigned,
Okay.
and your first responsibility would be to handle the cases into that team. And secondary, you can pick up anything. And what happens? There's this 24/7 transition happen across the geos for severity 1 and 2 cases. For severity 3 and 4, there are no transitions. There is no 24/7, and there are shifts here in the India as well as there is a large support team within North America. So we hand it
Hmm.
over with the cases at the end of our shift to North America team.
Okay.
they would hand it over to Australia Pacific time zone, and
Hmm.
then the cases would come back to India region. Now we have people here who are working in three different shifts, like
Yes.
some team members in APAC, India, and in the EMEA business hours.
Okay. Okay.
So the EMEA business hours teams would hand it over to North America, and this transition keeps happening every single day,
Yeah.
right? So this is basic summary about the roles and responsibilities. Does it answer your question, or
Yeah.
you're looking something
Yeah.
more specific?
No, no, I'm now good with the.
You might be familiar with this roles and responsibilities in your current role as well, right? But this the
Ye-
product will change.
Yes, yes, because even the process you told me, we are following exactly the same process.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, great, great. So it's the same thing, but just the different products and components and the yeah OS side of the things. So that's about it. Anything else you would like to ask me?
Just wanted to, I mean, like just a personal
Hmm.
feedback for me. How, I mean, from
See,
where, on what area should I improve, or what? How was the interview? How was the answers I've given to you? I mean, just a short brief.
yeah, I was kind of pretty happy, and I am barred from providing a direct feedback that goes out of the process, right? But what I can tell you is that here in the Red Hat, all the issues that we get from customers are mostly related to the base operating system. Like
Mm-hmm.
whatever things you see in RSCA, RSC, you would get issues as simple as I am not able to access a particular directory
Correct.
where we don't need a complex knowledge of kernel internals and all those things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You just have to solve the access permissions related issues. Sometimes there's some application or script modifies that permission. Nobody knows which application modified it, and you have to trace it down to that
Yes.
application.
Yes.
So all those kind of basics and fundamentals, and every time those fundamentals will come into rescue
Correct.
when we work with the customer, maybe on screen sharing, you would be expected to run some of the handle some of the basic tasks
Yes.
which we uh, sometimes overlook, like
Correct.
getting all the file systems mounted in rescue mode. Sometimes we know that that's a process, but when we have to perform it on a screen share for the customer, we have to have those things done confidently. Those are the basic things,
Correct. Correct.
and yeah, we build on top of it. So those are the areas that I would suggest. The same basic things, the OS fundamentals like process states, the process priorities,
Hmm.
how system prioritize different processes, how to check
Correct.
what may be the contributor to performance issues. So where to
Correct.
look
Correct.
into that, all those things. And yeah, the basic things covered into RSE.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything else?
No. Now I'm not. I'm good.
Okay, Ehsan. So it was nice to talk to you, and thanks for having me here, spending 1 hour with me over here.
Yeah.
I'll pass on the feedback, and the management and HR team will get back to you. Okay.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. It was
Okay.
nice meeting you. And
Thank you for your time.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Same here.
So
Bye bye.
bye. Bye. अरे माँ का बाप रे बाप फट गया भाई अरे बाप रे बाप